This neighborhood has rules, and you will follow them. Until this violation is cured, you are denied access, escrow folder or not.
I pushed my stroller toward the sidewalk gate like I do every morning, and there it was, shiny steel, a fat lock clicking in the sun while the HOA president shouted that I wasn't authorized to use the shortcut anymore. The air smelled like sprinkler water and fresh asphalt, and my kids started fussing because we'd stopped in the heat. She stood there with a smug smile, like she'd personally invented inconvenience. This is a dramatized story, but the HOA tactics are real. One plain thing was at stake: safe access. That gate connects our block to the bus stop and the little grocery strip. Without it, I'd have to walk along a busy road with no shoulder, pushing a stroller like a target. They weren't just blocking a path. They were blocking my daily life. I emailed the board the same day, June 4, 2024 at 7:15 a.m., asking why a public walkway gate was suddenly locked. The reply came back cold and fast: temporary restriction due to ongoing compliance issues. No details. No vote notice. Just vague words that sound official enough to scare tired people. When I tried to ask in person at the clubhouse, two neighbors who usually wave suddenly studied the bulletin board like it was art. I appealed through the normal process. I asked for the rule, the meeting minutes, and the safety plan that justified forcing families onto traffic. The manager gave me the same smile you give a barking dog and said, "We'll review." Then the president stepped in and said, "If you keep pushing, your closing paperwork might get complicated." That line landed heavy, because we were still finalizing the home purchase and waiting on the escrow to clear. That night I didn't sleep. I stared at my folder of closing documents like it might bite me. So I got smart and lawful. I started documenting everything, including the date the lock appeared in every message I received. Timeline item 1 June 4 at 7:15 a.m. Written request denied with vague compliance excuse. I also called the HOA office line and asked, calmly, if they were linking gate access to my closing process. They didn't know I was recording the call for my own notes, which is legal where I live as long as I give notice. So I did. I said, "This call is being recorded." The staff member sighed and admitted, off the record, "The board wants you to stop asking questions until your purchase is done." Then they added the worst part: "The lock is to pressure you." She said it like she was explaining a coupon policy. I didn't argue. I just requested the association's governing documents and any communications about temporary restrictions. When the packet arrived, the file landed with 57 pages, and it was a mess. There was no vote authorizing a lock. No safety plan. No incident report. Just an email thread where the president suggested closing the gate to discourage problem buyers from making noise before move-in. I sent the recorded call summary and the records packet to a neutral compliance contact listed in the handbook, and I also copied the title company representative handling our closing, because they hate surprises. The next day, the board's tone flipped like a light switch. The president called me neighbor and said the lock was a miscommunication. By that afternoon, the gate was open, the lock gone, and a bland apology email arrived with no details. Our closing went through without a hiccup. A week later, an older neighbor quietly held the gate for me and whispered, "Thank you for not letting them do that to everyone." I pushed the stroller through like it was the most normal thing in the world, and that's the point. People who need locks to feel powerful fall apart when you catch them using their own words as a weapon.